Have you ever noticed that time feels completely different now than it did when you were a child? Back then, summer vacations seemed endless. Waiting for your birthday felt like forever. A single school year stretched on so long that it almost felt like an entire lifetime. But today, Monday turns into Friday before you even realize it. January suddenly becomes December, and every New Year's Eve, millions of people ask themselves the same question. Where did the year go? So what changed? Did time somehow speed up? Or is your brain playing one of its greatest tricks? The answer is hidden deep inside the way your mind experiences reality. Because the truth is, time doesn't always feel the way it actually passes. It feels the way your brain remembers it. You see, your brain isn't a stopwatch. It doesn't count every second with perfect accuracy. Instead, it measures life through experiences. Imagine you're filming a documentary. If you record hundreds of different scenes, the final movie feels long and full of adventure. But if most of the footage looks exactly the same, the movie suddenly feels much shorter. Your memories work in a very similar way. The richer your experiences, the longer time appears when you look back. This is exactly why childhood feels so incredibly long. Think about your early years. Everything was happening for the very first time. The first time you rode a bicycle. The first day of school. The first friend you ever made. The first time you saw the ocean. The first time you got lost. Even ordinary things felt extraordinary because your brain had never experienced them before. Every single day introduced something new. Your brain had to pay close attention to everything. It recorded new faces, new places, new emotions, new sounds, new smells. Every moment demanded learning, and learning creates memories. Scientists know that the human brain pays much more attention to things that are unfamiliar. When something is new, your brain treats it as important. It stores more details because it doesn't know whether that experience might become useful in the future. As children, almost everything around us is unfamiliar. That's why those years feel so rich, so detailed, and so incredibly long. But something changes as we grow older. Life slowly becomes predictable. You wake up, brush your teeth, go to work, attend meetings, come home, watch a show, go to bed, then repeat the same routine tomorrow. Your brain quickly realizes something. I've seen this before. Once a routine becomes familiar, your brain stops paying close attention. It doesn't need to waste energy recording every tiny detail because nothing feels new anymore. Psychologists often call this operating on autopilot. Think about driving home after work. Have you ever arrived at your destination and suddenly realized you barely remember the drive? You didn't black out. Your brain simply stopped recording every moment because the route had become so familiar. Now, imagine that happening not just during a drive, but during weeks, months, even years. When fewer memories are created, the past begins to feel compressed. Entire months can seem like they disappeared almost overnight. But there's another fascinating explanation. Imagine you're 5 years old. 1 year represents 20% of your entire life. That's a huge piece of everything you've ever experienced. Now imagine you're 50. 1 year is only 2% of your life. Compared to everything you've already lived through, another year feels much smaller. Some psychologists believe our brains naturally compare new experiences with the length of our entire lives. As our life grows longer, each new year becomes a smaller fraction of our personal timeline. Although this isn't the complete explanation, it helps us understand why each passing year can seem shorter than the one before it. But here's where things become even more interesting. Have you ever been in a dangerous situation? Maybe you almost had a car accident. Maybe you slipped down a staircase. Many people describe these moments by saying, everything happened in slow motion. Did time actually slow down? No. Your brain simply became hyper-focused. In moments of danger, your brain records an enormous amount of information in just a few seconds. Later, when you remember that event, your memory contains so much detail that it feels like the experience lasted much longer than it really did. The opposite happens during routine activities. Think about the last time you spent hours scrolling through social media. You probably opened your phone for 5 minutes. Then suddenly, an hour was gone. Nothing unusual happened. Nothing demanded your full attention. And because your very few lasting memories, the time seemed to vanish. This reveals something extraordinary. Our experience of time isn't controlled only by clocks. It's controlled by attention. The more attention you give to a moment, the more deeply your brain stores it, and the more deeply it's stored, the longer that moment feels when you remember it later. So, Can you actually slow time down? Not by changing time itself, but by changing the way your brain experiences it. Travel somewhere you've never been, learn a musical instrument, read books outside your usual interests, meet new people, take a different route home. Try cooking something you've never tasted before, learn a new language, do anything that forces your brain to leave autopilot. Every new experience creates fresh memories. Every fresh memory adds another chapter to your life, and the more chapters your brain writes, the longer your life feels when you look back. Perhaps that's why childhood seems endless, not because time moved more slowly, but because we were fully present for almost every moment. As adults, we often become so busy repeating yesterday that we stop noticing today. And maybe that's the real lesson. Life doesn't become shorter because the clock speeds up. It becomes shorter because we stop paying attention. The greatest way to make life feel longer isn't to wish for more years. It's to fill the years you already have with moments worth remembering, because one unforgettable day can stay with you forever, while an ordinary month can disappear without leaving a single trace. So the next time you find yourself wondering where the year went, don't blame time. Ask yourself, how many new memories did I create? Because in the end, time isn't measured only by hours. It's measured by the moments that change us. And perhaps the secret to living a longer life isn't living more years. It's making every year feel like a lifetime. What's one new experience you've always wanted to try but keep postponing? Let me know in the comments.